There is an interesting passage I want to read to you from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, from verse 14. It says, "Moreover, from the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, until his 32nd year, 12 years, neither I nor my brothers ate the food allotted to the governor. But the earlier governors, those preceding me, placed a heavy burden on the people and took 40 shekels of silver from them in addition to food and wine. The assistants also lorded it over the people. But out of reverence for God, I did not act like that. Instead, I devoted myself to the work on this wall. All my men were assembled there for the work. We did not acquire any land. Furthermore, 150 Jews and officials ate at my table, as well as those who came to us from the surrounding nations. Each day 1 ox, 6 choice sheep, and some poultry were prepared for me, and everything is an abundant supply of wine of all kinds. In spite of all this, I never demanded the food allotted to the governor, because the demands were heavy on these people. Remember me with favor, my God, for all I have done for these people." Here Nehemiah is given a brief account of how he used his authority as governor over the land of Judah. Now, this man had been moved, inspired by God to visit the land and to help his people in their time of need, and was so favored by God that the king, then the emperor, then Artaxerxes, gave him permission to go and help his people. Therefore, he became their governor. And as he served as their governor, this man realized that if he was going to make demands on the people to treat him, not the way other governors before him were treated, it would be hurting them. Now, he said those who were governors before me placed a heavy burden on the people. That means they did not care about the welfare of the people. They were only concerned about their own welfare. And so even when it was evident or apparent that the people could not bear the burden of supporting them, they still kept on insisting that the people must provide for them all the things that the governor was entitled to. But Nehemiah would not do this. Why would he not do so? As he pointed out here, it was because he feared God. He had the fear of God. You see, when you have the fear of God, you will watch the way you use your authority. And every one of us is a leader with authority, some measure of authority where we have, whether in our home, in our office, in our school, in our neighborhood, we have some measure of authority over one person or the other. And it is the fear of God that will cause us to use this authority for their benefit. When we have the fear of God, we won't always pursue our rights. When we have God's fear in us, we won't always demand that our rights must be respected. There are times where we'll set aside our rights in order to make life better for others. When we see that making use of our rights will hurt people, when we see that making use of our rights will destroy people or make life harder or more difficult for them, we'll lay aside the use of our rights. It's the fear of God that will make us do that. It will make us use our authority to help people, to lift people, to care for people, to make life better for them, to make them move forward. I once worked with a boss that used his position to hurt and to oppress almost everyone under him. It wasn't that he was a bad man, but it was just someone that did not know how to use his authority to move others forward. The leadership position is a position of helping people. God places people in leadership positions in order to accomplish his purpose in the lives of those that he puts under them. He wants to move them forward. He wants to make life better for them. And so he places a man over them, a man that he has prepared, in most cases, to do his will. But how this man uses authority is another thing entirely. The man I was speaking about mostly uses authority to hurt. Now, he was never there to help anybody. He was never there to assist anybody. Every decision he made was something that would make the work more tedious, that would make the work more difficult. And once there was trouble, he absconded. He didn't want to stand by anybody to help anybody. He didn't want to defend anybody. It's only when there were goodies to share that you will find him. He was a leader, but he didn't know how to use his authority right. Now, when this man was replaced with another one who wasn't as impressive as he was, who talked less than he did, things changed. We saw that this man was interested in the welfare of others. He was interested in the advancement of others. So every decision he made was for our good. Every step he took was for our good. Yes, there were times he rebuked us. There were times he corrected us. But he never had to threaten anybody. He never had to scream at anybody. We could see ourselves that he wanted us to move forward. He didn't just want us to walk. He wanted life to be better for us. So we supported him. We did all we could to make him happy. And after he had left us, we still kept on talking about him. How he helped us with his office. How he used his office to motivate us. How he used his office to advance us, to make us, to motivate us, to make us want to know more, want to learn faster, want to work better. That's what we're talking about. You must know how to use your authority. When Nehemiah was in a position to help his people with his authority, he helped them. He did not abuse them. He did not molest them. He did not place on them burdens that would destroy them. Instead, when he saw that using his rights will ruin them, he decided to share his rights. He took responsibility for himself, for the people with him. I mean, look at how people were coming to him to eat, yet he would not place the burden on the people. We find Paul, the apostle, doing the same thing. In fact, he talks about this in 1 Corinthians chapter 9. He speaks of how he and Barnabas often laid aside their rights as Christian ministers in order not to hinder the work of God, in order not to be an unnecessary burden to the people of God that they were ministering to. I hope you will learn from these people and learn how to use your authority. The place you have, the position God has put you, do not make it an unnecessary burden to those under you. Do not use it to annoy them. Do not use it to put them down. Instead, use it to lift them up. And God will remember you with favor. Even if you are not asking for it. Even if you are not asking for it, God will remember you with favor. And He will reward you at the right time and in the appropriate way. God bless you.